Welcome to Coleman Report Live. I'm Bob Coleman. We're talking Main Street and the small business lenders who help it grow. Jennifer Bloomig, eventually yours. Eventfully yours.
Fully, yes. Only about the 20th time.
Eventfully. Anyway, she's going to talk about her great event coming up. Lance Sexton, good to see you back from moving. You're not become a professional mover. You're going to stay in banking.
Bob, I just have one piece of advice for everybody on the call today. Don't move. Just don't do it.
Don't do it. Very good. Anyway, we have a great show. Jennifer sent us these nice care packages, which Lance has his we're going to open. But let's bring you up to date where we are in the industry. First of all, with respect to the Senate, we have no news on that, so we're not going to do any more speculation. We do have one cool question that Lance is going to address in terms of a clarification on forgiveness. So we'll get at. But July report, I don't think anybody would argue that 1.8 is not a nice number. It's higher than was expected. But what percentage of the 1.8 created in July came from small business?
Oh, my goodness, Bob, I hate to speculate, but I'm going to guess more than 67%.
Yeah, it's around 67. It goes from 60 to 70. But the numbers are, consensus is it's about 2/3. So good for you.
And I still, Bob, would say that PPP, the last couple months job reports have shown jobs being added. And I think that's PPP bringing people back to work.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you and I talked to owners, we talked to servers, we talked to people, a lot of people who are living paycheck to paycheck. I know several of them have said that $600 has helped them a lot. I guess $1,200 if you're married. So that's those are good trends for Main Street. We're still tracking on restaurants and how many will close permanently, and unfortunately that's going to be a net loser in our economy. But I mean that's a hell of a lot of jobs, Lance.
Bob, the restaurant industry is interesting, and I'll share a really quick snippet of a story. Two of my daughters work in the restaurant industry. My youngest daughter is in charge of carryout at a Chili's restaurant. She has to work incredible numbers of hours, not only because she's a good employee, but because people won't come back to work because of the enhanced unemployment. So she's working double. And it's great for her because she's doing fantastic. And I'm proud of her because she chooses to work and not collect the unemployment.
Good for her. Good for her. And there's a lot of stories like that. So that's nice to hear. Compared to last year, what about farmers? What's going on in rural America? Are bankruptcies up, down, the same? How is this crisis affecting rural America, Lance?
Well, Arkansas, of course, is a very heavy farming state. I've not seen a lot of bankruptcy activity in the farming industry, but I also know that a tremendous number of farmers have been impacted because they had produce or meat or things ready to go to restaurants during the pandemic, and early on, restaurants were not buying them.
Right. And the answer is they're increasing a little bit. I think the number was 9%. So it's not as prevalent as hospitality or restaurants. And by the way, hospitality was, they lumped it together. Hospitality and leisure was the number one bucket for the most jobs that were increased. So that's good news. Finally, we asked the question, Jennifer, we bring you in here. We want to know, will you be attending the SBA virtual conference? Well, we know Jennifer will be.
I will.
I hope that this is a resounding yes.
Yeah.
Yes, as do I.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Okay, Jennifer, give us your elevator pitch. For those at the 75% Why do they need to register? Give us first of all, start at the big picture. What is the conference? There we go. And let's go go ahead.
Yeah, there we go. So, obviously this being virtual instead of in person, we're breaking down the barriers that normally would exist with, having to travel and having that cost. So, normally some of these conferences are not as doable for some of the lenders, but now with our reasonable price point of $299 and the fact that you can attend from the beach if you want to, I think it makes it very, very attractive, especially with all the training that we are planning on doing.
I'm looking
Hey,
at your.
Jennifer.
Go ahead, Lance.
Jennifer, I just want to add, I've been going to SBA lender conferences now for I don't know how many years, and I spend a lot of time carrying around the bag to the vendors, collecting goodies to bring home to my children, my wife. Jennifer is, and we'll show you what's in here, but Jennifer's done an amazing job. It's all in one box, guys. You get it shipped to. It's amazing.
Well, I haven't opened my box. Let's see what's
You want us
here.
to open them and show?
Yeah.
Let's do an unboxing.
All right, guys.
I'm going to. There's a shirt in here. That's why I'm.
Yeah, this is the shirt.
All right, guys. First of all, the conference shirt. Very nice. And,
I like it.
well, a lot of the goodies from the various.
I'm gonna put my shirt on. Hang on.
Yeah, put it on over your jacket.
But I'm gonna put my shirt on.
Look at this. A Coca-Cola.
Oh, yeah. You got the welcome reception kit in there.
Jennifer, you must have known that I'm packing a Tide cookie.
Yeah.
What's the story behind the cookie?
Yeah, so we have these custom cookies made by a woman in Texas out of Etsy, and she did a great job doing all of these custom cookies. They're all different, so depending on what you get, you might get one of these or the Tide of the Rona that Lance got, but it's a surprise, whatever you get.
All right, let me see what I got here. There we go. I got my
you look good, Bob. You look good.
There we go. Very nice.
Oh,
When the
guys.
collar's sticking out, it's especially attractive. Yeah,
There's
so
a
that's-
wife.
Oh, look at that.
The USB port. Very nice.
It's a laptop like,
I got candy, so there's lunch.
Yep.
From
One thing our whiskey drinkers would like is this. We've included 2 of these, which are mixers for your bourbon.
Should I do it?
For the
Should
welcome
I do it
reception.
now? No.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
there's
alcohol in here, but
there's the bag. So it's very nice.
one of our
I don't see my
sponsors.
cookie. Where's my cookie?
In your welcome reception kit.
Oh, it says.
In the little box,
Mm-hmm.
the all-important chapstick that I always collect large numbers of.
Oh, look at this. I got a marshmallow.
My good friends at Starfield and Smith.
clever.
No pad.
Oh, yeah.
You can read this. 2020. Very bad. Would not recommend 1 star. Very clever. I got my Coke. And so this is my cookie, right?
Yes, yes.
Oh,
Unless you
okay.
want to give it away. But
Nope.
It's like a wine cap.
it is. It's a
Ooh.
wine.
Once you open a bottle of wine, yeah.
It's
Yeah,
10
that's
o'clock
our-
on the West
That's
Coast.
a mixer.
Too early for bourbon? Awesome. That's great. Oh, we got some a fruit bar. How long did it take you to put all this together, Jennifer?
Oh, goodness. I mean, we did it in stages. So, I mean, it was probably a whole week to, kind of put all the boxes together. But, yeah,
And
we're still shipping them out. So, if you haven't completed your survey and you're registered,
there we go.
Go
Our,
get
our
yours.
friends at Starfield Smith. Let's shout out ads. And
So guys, all the time you normally spend,
I thought this was a mask. No mask.
all the time you normally spend walking up and down the vendor aisles collecting the goodies, it all comes to you in one neatly packed box.
There
So
you
great
go.
deal. Good job, Jennifer.
So I assume you'll be shipping these out to everyone. Is that the plan?
yeah, some have already gotten them. We've been shipping them all week. So, today and Monday will be the last shipping dates. So if you have not completed your attendee profile and you've registered for the conference, make sure you do that. That's the only way to get it. So that way we know your t-shirt size, everything's custom. So
awesome. Well, very, very impressed. I'm very impressed. I'm with Lance on that. It's all one nice, neat category, and I think I have a nice, cool shirt. So thank you.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I was looking at the agenda. You have the buy-in from Washington. The administrators invited. Bill Manger's invited, and I like, and it's a nice overview. I think the price point is great. I also love the idea that you're just doing it for a half day. It's over, what, 3 days?
3 half days starting 12:30 Eastern. So, you know, you can kind of get your things done in the morning and then log in. So it doesn't take up your whole day.
And do you have any networking type of function? How, if I want to network with a vendor or other people, is there a way to do that?
Yeah. So, you know, as Lance was saying, we don't typically, you know, we have the exhibit hall typically for in-person, but we're replicating that experience as closely as possible. We'll have a virtual exhibit hall where people can go in and they can visit our vendors and actually talk to them just like this, like we're doing here, just live. So when they click the button, they're in the vendor's booth and the vendor can talk to you about, you know, their services. I'm sure that a lot of lenders need help right now, you know, outsourcing some of their services given all the PPP action.
Well, I'm looking at this, and I want, first of all, forget the content. We need to do that. Yeah. Tell me what game show night is, and I'm more interested in this Musicians Live from Nashville. Tell us what you're doing on that.
Yeah, so the game show, we've got a professional game show host that's going to be hosting a fun night of afternoon, evening of various games, from like a Pictionary drawing game to trivia, and it's all interactive and fun and crazy, and there'll be prizes. And you know, if you're not interested in that, we also have some networking rooms at the same time. So if you want to go in and
logistically, how does that work? I want to talk to Lance. Do I go into a room?
Right. So we'll have various networking rooms. Maybe they'll be themed, you know, Northeast lenders or Southeast lenders, and you can go in and find your buddies and talk with them.
Well, you've done a tremendous amount. Oh, but tell me about the musicians. How's that?
Musicians, yes. We'll have a number of musicians from Nashville that will be playing your favorite cover songs and possibly some originals as well. So,
and you said live. So where are they going to be playing? They'll be playing in Nashville, and you'll just record it. Is that the plan, or
no? It's live. They'll be playing live. They'll be streaming, but they'll be playing from their own locations. So it is kind of our own little concert.
And so I have to convince the powers that be that no, I'm working with this Dixieland jazz.
Well, I mean, it's at 4:30 in the afternoon. You know, you've done a lot of work already.
All right, so then I can pop the bourbon, right? 4:30 in the afternoon.
Exactly. That's why you have it. Drink already.
Well, very, very impressive. And if you look at the agenda, it's very good. The price point's perfect. So tell us again the registration. There's the link, smallbusinesslendersconnect.com. Oh, 2 more things. Number 1, this encompasses which conferences?
Oh, goodness. At this point, it's pretty much every regional conference. But primarily, you know, the hosting conferences are the Georgia Lenders, which is the Southeastern Conference, the America East Group, which covers the whole Northeast, as well as the Music City Conference, which is the whole state of Tennessee and surrounding states. But, you know, we've kind of brought into the fold the Flagel Group now because their conference was canceled. So that's Florida. And then we have Kentucky as well. And the Mid-America, the Mouth Conference has some lenders coming. We've got lenders coming from Maine to Hawaii. I think we even have people from Alaska, quite honestly. So it's a great mix. Every region is covered.
Well, yeah. I'm very impressed with what you've put together. I'm not about to go so far as to say this is the new normal. We obviously all want to have some sort of networking component. But in terms of training, obviously, we've developed this show, and entrepreneurs such as Jennifer are putting together options to save money but still receive the same amount of content.
Right. That's right.
Great. Well, thank you very much, Jennifer. Oh, and we're going to do something unique.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Go ahead. I'll let you explain it. I think you have a better vision of it than I do. Go ahead.
Well, we will be live streaming. Oftentimes we will live stream with you during our in-person conferences, kind of reporting live from, San Antonio, wherever we are. At this point, my team and I will have our conference war room, and we will be broadcasting, and we'll do a live stream with you during this show next week, and kind of give everyone a peek into what's going on, in the conference. And I think we'll be in our general session at the moment, so the administrator will be speaking and some other SBA headquarters folks. So that would be good.
Yeah, we're going to give you a taste. We're not going to live stream the whole thing, obviously. Yeah. That's why we want you to go online and pay. But we'll give a taste of what's going on and have Jennifer come in and do a reporting from the field. Well, Jennifer, congratulations on the numbers and congratulations on the buyout from all the SBA officials. And it should be a great event. And that's going to be August 17th through 19th, which I believe is Monday through Friday, starting a week from Monday, if my math is
Monday
right.
through Wednesday. Yeah, starting a week from Monday. That's okay. Yeah, well, so Monday through Wednesday, August 17th, smallbusinesslendersconnect.com.
Thanks a lot, Jennifer.
Hey, Jennifer, thank you so much.
You are welcome.
And I know you sent $1 to Katie, but Katie obviously is still on vacation. So
yeah.
We'll get her to wear her shirt.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Jennifer. Lance, we got this interesting question from Russ. So let's sort of shift gears on this. Why don't you go ahead, I'll let you summarize it and give us an answer.
Can we just continue to talk to Jen? No, I'm just teasing.
Much more interesting, I agree.
SBA talks about good faith review in the forgiveness process, and I understand Russ and his question because it's just like prudent lending. SBA defines prudent lending as treating your SBA loan the same way you would a similar sized non-SBA loan. And in PPP forgiveness, they talk about good faith review. Now, we did a webinar a week ago on forgiveness, and there are some things that SBA expects us to look at as participant lenders when reviewing a forgiveness application. We need to scan and look at the legitimacy of the forms that are supporting the payroll and other expenses, and just make sure that, for instance, if they're claiming rent expense, that we've got to, and again, guys, I'm still hoping for simplified forgiveness for loans under a certain size where we don't have to do this. But right now, if they're claiming rent expense, you want to have a copy of the lease and just proof of payment. If they're claiming utilities, copies of the bills and proof of payment. And the payroll documentation, you want to take a quick look at that. One of the most important things that SBA wants us to do is a simple math check of the calculation of the forgiveness. Doesn't mean you need to spend 2 or 3 hours on it. You just need to punch the numbers in your computer or calculator and just make sure they're correct. But SBA does not expect us to spend hours and hours reviewing the forgiveness application. We just need to make sure the required documents are there, to do a simple math, punch the numbers in your calculator and make sure they add up and they're correct. That's the best explanation I can give for good faith review. Now, again, we did a webinar on PPP forgiveness. Bob, I think maybe we're repeating that next Wednesday. And I talk a little more in depth about good faith review, but Russ, it's like prudent lending. There's not a 10-item checklist that you have to do, but there are some simple explanations of what the good faith review, and I just shared that with you.
Lance, a couple questions. Number one, I know that you're getting calls from the borrowers. I know you want to get this done. Do you recommend the lenders we're waiting for those final pieces of guidance. Do you recommend lenders just hold off and see what the final numbers are going to be and how it's going to look, or should we start a process?
I've got to be honest, Bob. I'm not a fan of jumping into forgiveness yet until we know about the simplified forgiveness. Simplified forgiveness can swipe, depending on what number they pick, probably 90% of your PPP loans off the forgiveness table.
We think it's going to be I'm going to limit. I think it's going to be 150.
Yeah, we think it's going to be 150. It could potentially be higher, but we think 150 is a solid number. Now, when they get this done, we talked on Tuesday's show about making sure to contact your House member, your Senate member, and encourage them to get this completed. Because, I mean, it's critical. If we can get 90% of the PPP loans with a simple one-page forgiveness form and not a lot of review, life's easy. And we can spend more time reviewing those loans, making that good faith review of loans that are larger.
Very, very good. Obviously, as I said, we have no news today. If something breaks over the weekend, we'll send it out as a blast. Joseph, Congress goes on summer break when? End of next Friday? End of next week?
I'm not sure.
Sorry, Joe. I think technically they were supposed to go on break today, after today, but I have read numerous reports that if they don't get it passed, that I don't think they're going to go home, is a report I read this morning. So I think technically...
Yeah, I know we had experts come in and say if it doesn't get passed, it will get passed, but it's not going to get done this time. I'm going to be a little bit more optimistic. I believe Congress wants to get this done. Obviously, they're still negotiating. The parties have different agendas, but that's what Washington is about, is give and take, and we'll see if they work it out. The fact that at least they're talking somewhat is a positive. Plus, also, it will be a bipartisan vote. It will be a bipartisan vote, so that's good.
Absolutely.
Fraud Friday, we're going to talk about a bank president, and we need to explore this more, Lance. But again, another bank president didn't pocket any money, but wanted to be of service, wanted to help out the borrowers, so they took down money from another loan to bring a different borrower current. And we see this where, I don't know psychologically what it is, but there's a need to please the borrower, and they're not and exposing themselves. This is going to spend a year in jail. I don't know. That phenomenon is there, and I think we should explore that more.
Yeah, I think that we're getting ready to come into a period where we're going to see more challenged SBA loans, more challenged commercial loans in our portfolios, and handling those properly is going to be so important. I had, Bob, when I did some work for FDIC closing banks, which people hate to hear that. Several years ago, I had a guy who had been working for FDIC resolutions and receivership division. He said, the problem is a horse is a horse. And I'm like, what do you mean? He said, a bad loan's a bad loan, so don't try to cover it up. And that was when that's when we were reviewing loans, and he's right on point. If you've got a bad loan, SBA has the playbook on how to deal with those, whether it's a workout or liquidation, and it's the SOP 5057.
You have a conventional loan where it's interest only, and we add on to the loan or refinance it, and the borrower doesn't put anything in, and that's technically fraud. So we'll talk about that. Lance mentioned we're going to try to do this Wednesday, but we're not going to do it unless we have the final guidance. So as soon as we have it, we'll announce that. Lance, we're going to dust off the 159 and review that. Specifically, we're going to talk about PPP and what we need to disclose on that, but we're going to go through all that again. That's still a number one item on the Inspector General's, probably now down to 2 or 3, but 159 is very important. And I love calculating global cash flow the SBA way, end of August, because SBA wants it differently than your conventional loans, right, Lance?
Absolutely, Bob. And it's important to understand how to properly calculate it and to calculate that service coverage.
Hey, I didn't realize you were running over so much. We got so excited with our presence and everything. Jennifer, good to see you. Let's get you on to talk a little bit about more. But let's get everyone signed up August 12th. You're in that 75% and do it. Thank you for joining us today for Full Report Live and for supporting America's Main Street. one entrepreneur at a time. Have a nice weekend.
Have a great weekend.